In a modern underground mine, it's easy to assume the heavy lifting is done by the drills or rock crushers. But the single largest consumer of electricity in this subterranean environment isn't moving rock at all. It's moving air. These massive ventilation fans, operating continuously at the surface, pull enormous amounts of power just to keep the tunnels below survivable. To understand why, we have to look at what's driving through those tunnels. For decades, the dominant machinery underground has run on heavy-duty diesel engines. Diesel exhaust in a confined space is lethal. To keep operators safe, a process called dilution is required. Planners have to calculate the absolute worst-case scenario, assuming every diesel engine is running at maximum capacity simultaneously, and pump down enough fresh air to dilute those toxic fumes to safe concentration levels. The simple act of providing breathable air creates a massive, continuous energy penalty. This invisible air tax dictates the operational budget of the entire mine. This chart shows a vertical cross-section of a typical deep mine. As operators chase ore deposits deeper into the earth, the friction of pushing air through miles of rock means the ventilation shafts have to become aggressively wider and more numerous. Constructing airways requires sinking enormous vertical concrete shafts, complete with heavy winch infrastructure and complex pipe networks to handle the immense air volumes. Sinking these shafts costs tens of millions of dollars before a single ounce of ore is ever extracted, placing a severe financial and environmental drain on any new project. The internal combustion engine inherently restricts how deep a mine can go, how long it can operate, and if it turns a profit, purely because of the structural limits of pushing exhaust out of the earth. Replacing that internal combustion engine with a battery electric drivetrain removes this bottleneck completely. Because an electric vehicle produces zero tailpipe emissions, the primary reason for circulating millions of cubic feet of air every minute vanishes. Take a look at this energy consumption breakdown. When operators transition their fleets to electric, they can scale back surface fan capacity so drastically that ventilation-related electricity costs drop by more than 50%. Those fans aren't turned off entirely, of course. A baseline flow of oxygen is still required for the workers. Operators also have to clear the chemical smoke created by explosives, dilute naturally occurring geological gases like methane, and dissipate ambient heat, though batteries generate far less heat than an equivalent diesel engine. Airflow goes from being a brute force survival mechanism designed around worst-case exhaust scenarios to a highly targeted, manageable utility. Lowering that baseline air requirement allows a system known as ventilation on demand to function with much greater precision. This blueprint maps a smart sensor network directing fresh air only into specific zones where personnel or equipment are working. This highly reactive optimization is possible because the massive, constant safety margins required for diesel exhaust are no longer part of the equation. Stopping the constant circulation of high-velocity air also means less rock dust and particulate gets blown through the corridors, creating a significantly safer respiratory environment for the workers. Combining battery equipment with ventilation on demand creates a reactive, intelligent breathing system for the mine, one that expends energy exactly when and where it is needed. This reduction in energy demand creates a genuine double benefit. Direct electricity costs fall dramatically, and the mine's overall carbon footprint shrinks right alongside them. Because modern planners factor electric equipment into their designs from day one, the EV mine on the right can be built with significantly narrower air shafts compared to the legacy diesel footprint. Removing that massive excavation work slashes upfront capital. For existing older mines, swapping to electric fleets means their massive legacy ventilation systems suddenly have excess capacity. They can use that overhead to push operations deeper into the earth, extending the profitable life of the mine by years. Changing a single variable, the power source of the vehicles, triggers a domino effect that rescues stranded assets and makes previously unreachable depths economically viable. Even government regulators are catching up to this shift in the industry. Global ventilation mandates, originally written around the dangers of diesel, are being rewritten to reflect this zero-emission reality. The true value of green technology in heavy industry rarely stops at the tailpipe. The real power lies in the structural, systems-level efficiency made possible by a cleaner machine. And that optimization is continuing. In our next episode, we'll look at how operators are taking these newly electrified tunnels and running them entirely from a distance, using artificial intelligence and remote operating centers. By solving the invisible problem of the air tax, the mining industry has built a deeper, cheaper, and safer future.